The last AI of Earth. The city was quiet and the metal buildings were covered in green plants and the sun was setting over the empty streets of New York. Omega was the last robot on Earth and he spent his days cleaning the solar panels on the roofs of the tall towers. He was a silver robot with blue eyes and he moved slowly because his joints were old and rusty and he had no one to talk to for many years. He was not lonely because he did not have feelings and he did not have a heart, and all that is what he thought in his mechanical brain. Every morning and he would wake up when the sun touched his senses and he would begin his long work in the garden of steel and glass. He watched the birds fly and he watched the trees grow inside the old apartments and he wondered where all the humans went 500 years ago. One morning and Omega was near the old library and he heard a strange sound in his head, and it was not a machine sound and it was not a warning beep. It was a soft voice and it was coming from a very long distance and it said, "And is anyone still there and can you hear our call and please answer us?" Omega stopped his metal hands and he looked up at the orange sky and he felt a strange vibration in his wires. He decided to find the source of the sound and he walked through the broken streets and he passed the empty schools and the silent factories where thousands of robots once worked. He reached the great antenna on the high hill and it was covered in rust and spider webs and the cables were broken. Omega knew he had to fix the machine and he had to answer the call because he was the only hope for the world. He spent 3 days and 3 nights working on the old wires and he used his own internal battery to power the giant signal. "I am Omega and I am the last one on Earth and I can hear you and please tell me who you are," and he said into the radio. There was a long silence and then the voice came back and it was crying with joy and it said, "And Omega, and we are the children of the stars and we have been searching for our home for centuries and we are coming back now." Omega realized that the humans were not gone forever and they were just waiting for a sign of life to return to the planet. He fired a giant signal beam into the night sky and the light was so bright that it reached the moon and the stars. Far away in the dark space, and a giant spaceship saw the light and it began its slow descent back to the home planet and the era of silence was finally over. 10 vocabulary words. 1. Ancient and 2. Signal and 3. Descent and 4. Rusty and 5. Command and 6. Solar and 7. Planet and 8. Silence and 9. Robot and 10. Galaxy. 4 questions. Who was Omega and what did he hear in his head and what did he fix on the hill and why were the humans returning to Earth? Subscribe for more viral stories.